Hey guys, welcome back and thanks for tuning in. So today we're gonna go over the home buying process. The reason for it is because guess what? The spring is ending, the summer's beginning, your kid is done with school, one of your kids is going off to school, you bought a new dog, you want a pool, whatever the case may be. The point is you want a new house. And that's why we're going over this quick process. It's really quick. It's gonna be about 8 steps or so. I'm gonna try to do it really quick to get in, get out, and get you the information you need. Real quick. My notes are here, so if you see me looking over here, it's because my notes are here. I want to make sure I stay on track for you guys. I want to make sure I cover everything. And if you have questions, by all means, text me 407-308-4518. Email me, peter@flreagent.com. Or you can call me at the same phone number, 407-308-4518. I guess alternatively, you can send me a message on Facebook. You can write comments down below, whatever the case may be. All right, so let's jump into it. Number one, meeting a real estate professional. You don't have to use an agent or a realtor, but you should. So you should because they know what questions to ask, and you're under the protection of that agent. For example, did you know that a house built before 1978 requires a special contingency or an addendum to that contract because it could have lead-based paint? Or maybe do you know that around the hurricane trifecta that happened in 2005, 2006, and here in Florida, did you know that you should be looking for Chinese drywall because there's a lot of cases of Chinese drywall being used in construction back then, and that obviously, comes with all sorts of health issues. Like, to give you an example, it corrodes pipes. Like, if it corrodes pipes, what is it gonna do to you, your body, your kids, your dog? I mean, really, you gotta watch out for that stuff. So that's just 2 examples of what a real estate agent or a real estate professional should know, if they're working in this industry. So anyway, you should meet with a real estate professional. Remember, as a buyer, it doesn't cost you anything. And as a matter of fact, if you work with a company like mine, Heroes Real Estate Group, for certain buyers, as a matter of fact, you get money back or you get some sort of concession back at closing from your real estate agent. Stick around, email me, text me, call me, write a comment, and I'll tell you more about that. Different video, different time. All right, so meet a real estate professional. Second, get pre-approved. This is probably the most important thing you can do in the home buying process. Why? Because you know what you can afford, how much house you can afford, what you can buy, where you want to buy it, so on and so forth. And by that, I mean, listen, what if you're looking for a USDA loan or you want to get pre-approved for a USDA loan, meaning no down payment, and actually they have little segments of area that you can't buy a property in. It's only segmented, certain areas, certain zip codes and such that you can use that type of loan. So what if you're going to get pre-approved for a USDA loan and then the house that you're looking at initially does not fall in that area? So now you have to get either a completely different loan or find a different house. So again, getting pre-approved is probably the most important step for that reason, but also because when you go present an offer to a seller, when I go present an offer to a seller on your behalf, the seller knows it's a strong offer. They don't think to themselves, okay, well, this buyer may or may not be able to fulfill on this contract, on this offer, because they're not even qualified. Having a qualification letter or an approval letter, again, different video, but there is a difference. Ask me, comments, text, what have you. Having that makes your offer that much stronger. The seller can look at it and be confident that you're going to be able to fulfill on that contract. So whatever the contract is or whatever the offer is that everybody agrees on, both parties are comfortable. Everybody's going to move forward knowing that the transaction or the purchase is going to happen. So one of the most important things about buying a house is getting that pre-approval. Oh, one more thing I'll say about that. You can get a pre-approval from a bank, a credit union, or a mortgage broker. Mortgage brokers, in my experience, give you the most options, right? When you go to Bank A, they have 4 mortgage products. You're going to shop from those 4 mortgage products. If you go to Credit Union C, they have 5 mortgage products. You're going to be able to shop from those 5 products. If you go to Mortgage Broker B, then they have 30 different institutions that each have 3 to 4 products. Then you're looking at all those products. They're looking at all those to see which one best fits your scenario, your situation, your price point, the interest rate you want to be in, the qualification that you currently have. They look at all that. So again, a little plug, use a mortgage broker. It'll serve you better in the long run. All right, next step, searching for a home. You have to make sure you find the right home. So you don't want to walk into your house 3 months after you buy it and completely hate the staircase that's right there in front of your atrium, or right there in front of your front door in the little reception atrium area, because now everything feels so closed in, right? So when you search for a home, make sure you scrutinize everything. And if you're working with a real estate agent, make sure they know it. Make sure you want, when you walk into your property, to have a nice, vast, open space, and you don't want to feel closed in. Make sure they know that. Make sure they know that you want the sliding glass doors in the family room as opposed to the kitchen. Make sure they know all that stuff. The way I look at it is you're going into a 30-year marriage. Granted, the moving time frame in Florida is anywhere between 5 and 8 years. And right now it's closer to 8 years. Every 8 years, someone purchases a new home or they move. But either which way, think of it as a 30-year marriage, because what if you don't move in 8 years? What if at year 6 you have another kid and now you want them to go to that same school district, and now you're going to stay there for at least another 20 years? So again, go into this purchase thinking it's going to be a 30-year purchase. You need to be happy with that property, right? Make sure if you're using an agent, they send you automatic listings, or automatic emails with listings that come on the market. As soon as they come on the market, you need to know about it, because in a hot market like we are in here in the Central Florida area, houses that are priced right, that look great, and the houses that you like, everybody else likes that's looking for the same type of house. And whoever gets to it first is the one who's gonna win, is gonna win that game. They're gonna get that house. So make sure if you're using an agent, they put you on that immediate campaign drip. That way you get the properties as soon as they come up. If you're buying a house on your own, make sure you check in 2-3 times a day sometimes on whatever websites you choose to go on to look for them, because inventory changes so quickly, especially some that most inventory that is priced right, most inventory that you like, other people are gonna like it as well. So you have to constantly be looking. It's a constant thing. Agents, hey, look, I set my clients up on automatic campaigns, but I'll take time out of my day and I'll manually look for properties. I'll change the criteria around here and there. So if they're looking for a max of like 340, I'll look up to 350, 360. And because again, it's all in a negotiation. What if the 360 property, $360,000 property, what if I can negotiate it down to the price that you're looking for? So again, you got to make sure you look for the right house and you find the right house, not just based on price, but also based on everything that you're looking for in that house. Make sure you love it. You have to love it. All right, next, making the offer. So you don't want to make a ridiculous offer one way or the other. You don't want to make a $230,000 offer on a property that's worth $350,000, because your offer is never going to be taken seriously. You as a buyer are not going to be taken seriously. If you have an agent, they're not going to be taken seriously, and it's just going to be a bad scenario all around. Have I known people that have done that? Yes, multiple times. So again, watch out for that. Also watch out on the other end, on the other side of the spectrum. You don't want to offer $300,000 for a property that's only worth $230,000. For one, your lender, if you're using a VA or an FHA loan, they're not going to approve it. Pure point of story. They may approve up to a certain amount, but then guess what? They're going to tell you have to come up with the rest out of pocket. I'm only going to insure, because that's basically what it is. The VA and the FHA, they insure a certain portion of the mortgage. So they're only going to insure up to a certain amount. So then you have to come up with the rest out of pocket. And then what happens if the market crashes, or not crashes, but if it goes down, if it dips, or really if in 5 years you want to sell a property and at the time it's still worth the $230,000 and you paid $300,000 for it, what are you going to do then? You lost $70,000. So again, you want to make sure that you make the offer on the property based on what it's worth. The best way to do that, the way I do it, the way most of the professionals I work with do it, is we look at the area, 1/2 mile to 1 mile radius around the property, and we look at what the properties sold for that are comparable to the property you're looking at. So for example, you wouldn't go to a house that is fully updated and compare it to a house that last time was updated was 20 years ago and it needs $30,000 in updates. You wouldn't compare it, side by side and use that as the price, as a basis for the price. And vice versa. You wouldn't, be making an offer on a house that needs a few updates. Let's just say that needs about $10,000 worth of updates, and compare it to a brand new construction that has everything possibly already updated and literally is brand new. You wouldn't do that. So you have to make sure you break it down to the ridiculous almost. Like, hey, listen, I have a kitchen that has Formica countertops and it has crappy cabinets. Well, I'm going to compare it to a house that has, quartz countertops and solid wood 40 whatever inch cabinets. So again, you have to break it down to the ridiculous sometimes, because you want to make sure that you get the most bang for your buck, but you're also not underpaying or overpaying for a house. Negotiations happen when you put an offer into the house. As soon as you put the offer in, that's when negotiations start, whether it be price, seller concessions, or whatever the case may be. When everybody agrees, you go into contract. Once you go into contract, that's when a lot of things have to happen. If you're searching for a house on your own, you have to make sure, if I was you, write down a checklist. I can make you a checklist if you want. Send me an email, peter@flreagent.com, or shoot me a text or give me a call, 407-308-4518. I'll shoot you over a checklist of what you should be doing. But this is what we do. Once you go into contract, you make sure you have a home inspection. Always, always, always get a home inspection. Never use a home inspection that the seller did, because again, you kind of question like, what's wrong with the property? What are they trying to hide? I would just, eat the $350 if that's what it costs to do a home inspection, because I need to make sure that that 30-year marriage that I'm about to walk into is going to be sound for 30 years, right? If the house has a wood frame, always, always, always get a WDO inspection, or a wood destroying organism inspection. If you go to any pest company and you tell them you need a WDO inspection, know exactly what you're talking about. But basically, you want to make sure there's no termites or wood destroying organisms like fungi or anything like that in the property. After that, you got the appraisal and the financing contingencies. Pretty much is what happened at that during that point. So financing contingencies, basically the lender makes sure that you're qualified to actually buy the property, and the appraisal just makes sure that the property's worth what you're buying it for. If the appraisal comes back lower than what the purchase price is, then the seller and you can renegotiate, and you can lower the price, or the seller won't lower the price and you can walk away and find another house, or everybody agrees and you move forward. So those are some things that happen during that time. And then after that, you get ready for closing. So for closing, it's pretty simple. If you're doing it on your own, just make sure the title company that the seller picked has all their ducks in a row, has all the paperwork that they need to have. They have all the wiring information directly from you to them. Don't give it to the agent to give to the escrow, to the title company. Give it directly to the title company. There's a lot of wire fraud that happens in the real estate industry, and really a lot of other sales industries as well. But when we start emailing and start including more people than that should be in an email chain with wiring instructions, emails do get hacked. There have been cases, you can research them, of people, losing a lot of money, but just make sure you be careful with that. But anyway, make sure the title company's doing everything right. Make sure they have all the documentation. Make sure that everything is done. Make sure the permits are cleared out on the property. Make sure that you are not going to end up with let's just call it a lemon. Let's just use a car salesman term, whatever. You don't want a lemon for a house, right? So make sure everything is right. As an agent, obviously, we do all that beforehand. We do that during the escrow or during the closing process. We take care of all that. We're the liaison between the listing agent, the lender, and the title company. We take care of all that, or at least we should. I know I do. So make sure that gets taken care of. And after that, it's closing. So it's pretty simple. You go to closing, you have your IDs, you have all the paperwork you need. You have your wiring instructions. Your wiring information for whatever reason, if someone needs it, and you close on the house. Make sure before you close, you make sure you get the utilities information. By that point, you should have it, but make sure you get utilities information that we can turn on utilities when you need to. Make sure that you get the trash day pickups and the schedule for that, unless you can go to the county website, but just make sure you ask the seller for that, and make sure make sure you're ready. Make sure you're ready to move in. Moving company, security company, whatever the case may be, make sure you have it by that point. Because then that's when the fun part starts, the moving. Everybody loves to move, right? So then now you have to take all your stuff from the old house or the storage unit into the new one. And that is a long process sometimes. So other than that, that's it. If you have questions, by all means, write a comment, shoot me a text, 407-308-4518. Give me a phone call, 407-308-4518. Shoot me an email, peter@flreagent.com. As you all know, I am with Heroes Real Estate Group, and reach out to us if you need any help, any advice, any consultation, whatever. And especially if you're a hero meaning a firefighter, veteran, police officer, nurse, doctor, caseworker, teacher. I think I said teacher already, but we have special programs for the buying and selling portion of, for those individuals, because we believe that the heroes of our community need to be recognized for their service. I myself am I'm a Marine myself. I'm a former Marine. I'm a veteran. And that's what drives our mission to give back to the veteran community, the hero community, law enforcement, so on and so forth. So anyway, reach out to us, 407-308-4518. peter@flreagent.com. Email me, text me, call me, comment below if you have any questions. I'll see you next time. Bye.